Hi everybody, welcome to the March USD 320 update. It's good to see the weather getting nicer outside, and hopefully we're done with our inclement weather days. I have a few things to talk with you about this month, as well as a conversation from our new SRO. At the board meeting Tuesday night, we adopted the 2025-2026 school calendar, and that will be included as an attachment to this update. So please be looking for that for the 25-26 school year. Along those same lines, we have 2 days that we need to make up for inclement weather. We have taken 8 snow days, and we have several of those that are built into our calendar, but we have 2 that are not. And so our scheduled days on this year's calendar, 24-25 calendar, of April 18th and April 21st will be converted from days off of school to days we are having school. So please make that adjustment in your calendars at home. Students, teachers, staff will all be in session on April 18th and April 21st. This week, we're also asking families to complete the Family Engagement Survey. We have until Friday the 14th to get that done. It's very important for you to do that for us. We look at that information you provide to look what we're doing well and try to maintain that, and also things that we need to improve and make changes in those areas. We would ask that families complete a survey for each school they have a student attending. Again, Friday the 14th of March is the last day for that. Hi everybody, and welcome to this month's Conversations with Rob. This conversation involves one of our newest members to our staff, Officer Leo Lovely, who is our SRO. So welcome, Officer. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, just busy, and thank you for having me on here. This is pretty cool.
Good.
Never done something like this before.
Well, we'll get into it and kind of get to know you a little bit better here. So let's start off with, what's your background in law enforcement, and tell us a little bit about yourself too.
I am from Colorado.
Okay.
I started in law enforcement in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
I started as a cadet, did that for a while. I was hired on full-time, mentored by some of the greatest people I still know to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Very intelligent, great programs, cadet programs. Taught you about, integrity, loyalty, character, everything. I think it's awesome. Took a break from law enforcement after several years and did some rehab, rehabilitation type things. That was pretty good. That was good. I went back into law enforcement. I'd moved here to Kansas in, I believe, 2019.
Okay.
I started in Western Kansas. I was at a very tiny sheriff's office out there. Just so happens, since I took that break from Colorado, I had to go back through the full academy here. And the sheriff out there, which was the longest sitting sheriff in Kansas history, is what I was told. A new person was elected. He was bringing in all of his own people. So it was very stressful trying to find a job while I was in the academy Monday through Friday. But I was hired on with Muncie County Sheriff's Office as the school resource officer for the northern part of the county, like Alma, Maple Hill, Paxco. Did that, really, really loved it. I've never done that in my career before. I didn't know how I would like it, and it turns out that was the best position I've ever had in my life. I love the connections made with the students, the staff, and the families. It was just amazing. I loved interacting with everybody so much every day. I have a wife and 2 kids. My wife's name is Maria. My boys are Aaron and David.
Awesome.
They go to our schools here.
Awesome.
Aaron is in the middle school and David is in West.
Cool. What excites you about working as an SRO and an SRO in our district?
Wow. I honestly, it's the youth, because whether or not people agree with this, young people, I don't care how young, absorb information that we may not think that they know or that they're seeing or understanding or feeling. And I just think that is so great. I want to be a part of that as much as possible, especially in this role, to build those positive relationships, and even with the parents, so they can see it in a different light. If they've had bad experiences, I want to show, hey, we're actually a resource, regardless of what happens. But being a part of helping educate, because I always think medical staff and teachers, such an important role. I hope people have a grasp of that. And shaping, it really is our future. They're going to be the ones taking care of us. But our district is larger than what I've worked in before, so there is a lot of opportunity for different things. Lots of all kinds of different students. We're very diverse. Lots of support from staff, which I love and I appreciate. I'm just excited about all the possibilities.
Yeah,
I guess.
Good. What is different about being an SRO than maybe other law enforcement positions?
To me, it's simply, I want to say this properly, is I get generally more time on an incident or an issue, that I can have conversations with people, have a much more meaningful conversation, in depth, get to a little bit more of the bottom of things, or understand resources that they may need a little better. And I'm not saying that on patrol you don't do that, because you do. You strive very much to try to do that. But sometimes you got call after call after call, or call stacked, and you got to do your calls quickly and accurately and proficiently as possible to get to the next one. Here, I'm in an environment where I have the resources in the building. If I need a counselor to step in and maybe assist me with something, or vice versa, or anything, like it's just been
Time with families and time with kids specifically is probably the biggest difference.
Absolutely.
Super cool. How do you balance safety, security of kids, and building those positive relationships?
Sometimes that can be tricky. That's first and foremost is safety. I always want to build those positive relationships, just by talking to somebody, just reaching out, me starting the conversation with somebody. But if there's an issue, whether it be something staff doesn't understand or students don't understand, I want to make sure that I'm doing my job correctly and leaving everyone educated as why it was the way that it was, or we had to do it this way. Because I don't want to be like, well, that's just the policy, that's just the way we do it. I would want to know. Yeah. If something's with my kids, I want to know. I'd like, educate me, give me a little more information, things like that.
How does, and you started in November, I think, if I remember right, but you've been very visible in our schools. How does that visibility make an impact on those positive relationships?
Well, I think to start off with was just getting through the newness of seeing me in there, because I get it, a new person, a little apprehensive about even eye contact sometimes, just a quick glance over there. But I like to, even something as simple as when they're going by in the hallways, and I'm walking the hallways between classes, saying hello, asking how their day is going, making a joke or something, because they have some great jokes for me too. Or they have questions for me. I want to make sure that they see me and they're able to have contact with me if they need, or if they'd like to just say whatever, or say hello, or ask a question about my job, or anything. It's just being visible and not being afraid to walk up and start a conversation with somebody, and not just stand there and be like, well, I gotta wait for them to talk to me.
You feel like that helps build trust with those kids and families that you're serving?
I absolutely believe that, because I would be a little apprehensive myself if I was, maybe at a different kind of work, walking by somebody who just standing around or walking around all the time and doesn't want to talk to me, or doesn't wave or say anything to me, and just walks past me in the hallway looking around at everybody. I'd be like, are you okay?
Yeah, good. What's the best way for students, parents, staff to reach out to you, to get in touch with you if they have concerns or needs that involve law enforcement?
You can always call the police department, or the sheriff's office dispatch, or if you see me at the schools or know that I'm at the schools, or you can call the schools and they can get a hold of me. Any of those avenues you can definitely get a hold of me by, and I will I will get in touch with you.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm tied up with stuff and it may take a little bit, but you can be guaranteed I follow up with everybody.
And we want to make sure you still, if it's an emergency, please call 911, right?
Yes.
That could go that direction. But if it's maybe not an emergency and just informational or something that you need to know or they need some recommendations on, they can reach out to dispatch or reach out, probably an email too if they needed to. I don't know, do you have a school email?
I have a school
Do
email.
you check that email much?
Every day.
Okay.
Every day.
So they could, if they had something that wasn't urgent, they could drop you a line there.
Absolutely.
And you are new to this role, but what are some community or school programs that you've either been a part of in the past, that you're looking forward to get into now, or that you're currently involved in?
Well, one of them to start off with is Safe Kids. I think that is an incredible program. I just went to my first Safe Kids meeting last month. I'm going to go again this month. And the first meeting was just me trying to jot down pages of notes because there's so many different pieces to Safe Kids. It's not one little thing. They have avenues, they branch out into all these other pieces and resources, which is amazing that they do that. And all these people, the room was packed, come together for one mission, and that's for Safe Kids.
Yeah. In your role as an SRO, what's one thing that students or staff or parents can kind of count on from you as their SRO?
Well, I'd say communication will be one for sure, and safety. That's my job. I have a vested interest also.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's not like I'm here and I don't have kids in the schools. I have kids in the schools. I want to help on my little piece of it, of the whole grand scheme of everybody working here, to make things safe, to be accessible, to be a resource. That's part of the name, you know.
Yeah.
And direct resource, you know, people to the proper resource when and if needed.
Good, good. What else did I not ask that you want people here in USD 320 to know about SRO Officer Lovely?
Well, I'd say on or off duty, don't be afraid to say hello or ask me something, whatever. If you see me in the grocery store, I say hi to people. Sometimes they don't recognize me out of uniform. That happens a lot.
Oh,
I
yeah.
get a lot of glances, and I think it's this right here. But you know, sometimes people are like, do you work? And I'm like, I do work, but I work. But yeah, please don't feel hesitant at all. I don't have to be in uniform for you to talk to me, you know, to say hello or ask a quick question or something like that. I mean, I'm part of this community. I've lived here. I love this community. I've lived here for several years. I don't have any plans to go anywhere. Also in the mornings, I wish I could be at every school zone every morning, but I just randomly pick a school zone and do traffic enforcement for that school zone. I've been doing, you know, quite a few traffic stops. I do try to warn people with a little flash here and there. Better prevention than something go on.
Uh-huh.
But just, yeah, please, if you're out there in the mornings, it's for everybody's safety and your own, to watch the signage and flashing lights and all that good stuff.
When their lights are flashing 20 miles an hour.
Correct. And then the turns at Central seem to
Yeah.
be a thing. But yeah, everybody's been great. I really appreciate the opportunity. I really appreciate all the staff and all their assistance and support that I've gotten since I've started. I didn't know what to expect really
Yeah.
coming into this in a new district and such a much bigger amount of people, you know, a lot more people than I was used to.
Yeah.
But it's been awesome, great. A lot of students coming up and just saying hello and asking me questions. I absolutely love that. Thing I love the most is getting invited into classrooms to be able to do a class or talk to students or anything like that. That's one of my favorites.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, teachers that are watching, look for opportunities to invite Officer Lovely in your classroom. Thank you for what you do. One, for helping us keep it safe. Two, for being a presence in our schools. Three, visible. And four, just being you. So it's good to have you on board, and nice working with you.
Thanks for having me, and I appreciate you and all your staff.
All right. As we move into the later days of March, April, and May, it will be warmer. We'll have more students out walking to school. We'll have more families out in our community. So please be safe. And remember, no one's greater than a Raider.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and.